My mom, 60s, wanted to force a reconciliation between me, 35F, and my sister, 32F, but it backfired. I don't know if I want her in my life anymore. Background: I started dating my brother's best friend when I was 16. We were together until I graduated high school. When he proposed and I rejected it, there was a lot of drama with my family asking me to reconsider, because we could have a long engagement or make a promise to reconcile. My relationship with my brother, 36, suffered for a while, but the one with my sister, 32, never recovered. She was sure my ex was the best fit for me and became unbearable when she started dating my ex's brother. My ex was invited everywhere by my siblings, even to some family holidays, but I didn't say anything since he was their friend too. That is, until my sister started to push for us to get back together. My sister did everything from trying to get us on blind dates to making us share a room during holidays. No matter the occasion, my ex was invited to it. After a while, I had enough and asked my parents to intervene. They were clear with my siblings and stopped inviting my ex to things or allowing him to tag along so much. It was slightly better, but while my brother backed off, my sister didn't. It all came to a crash when I met my husband during a semester abroad. He was from another university but the same country, and we just clicked. It was magical for me, and we got engaged after dating for a year. My family was very happy for me, except my sister. She kept insisting I was in the honeymoon phase and would grow out of it. I clearly didn't, and after many, can't express enough how many fights and attempts to reunite me with my ex, I simply let her know if she pulled anything again, I would stop talking to her. What does she do after that warning? Makes me her maid of honor and requests I spend all my time with the bridal party, also known as my ex, and sets one of her friends as my husband's date. We didn't realize until we were at the reception, and the poor girl tried to make a pass at my husband. My sister said that since we are not married, it was okay to explore things with other people. I left the party, and the next day spoke with my parents and brother. I explained that while I won't make them choose, I will not talk to my sister ever again, and if they try to fix stuff between us, I will simply cut contact with them too. My mom was devastated and tried to negotiate, but my dad and brother said they would respect my decision. Apart from 2 attempts from my mom, I haven't spoken, written, or anything with my sister in the past 6 years. My sister has tried everything to reconcile with me, from gifts to tantrums, but I simply don't talk to her at all. If we are at a family event or dinner, I simply act like she doesn't exist. At first, she made snarky comments or tried to create drama, but since nobody backed her up, she gave up. She did have a meltdown when she was informed she was invited to my wedding but would not be a part of any preparation. My brother says he feels guilty for going along with it for so long, and his relationship with my ex has suffered. They still talk, but they are not as close anymore. The issue: my mom's birthday was a couple of weeks ago, and I finally announced we are expecting our first child. This is not the first grandchild, but it is the first granddaughter. Everybody was very happy except my sister. My mom noted that and asked me for tea the other day. My sixth sense told me not to go, but I wanted to be positive. The first thing I noticed when I arrived was my sister's car. Then, as I entered the door, there was my sister, her husband, my ex, and my ex-mother-in-law. They wanted to have an intervention since my childish tactic has gone on for so long. My ex said that he was just trying to be romantic, but he understands I couldn't appreciate it. His mom said I was just hurting my sister for wanting the best for me, and she apologized already, so I need to forgive her. I was just sending texts to my family, dad, brother, and husband, and looking at my mom in disbelief. My brother-in-law had the balls to tell me I was a hurtful person and I need to learn how to act like an adult since I am having a baby now. Then my mom began reading a letter about how hurt she was her daughters weren't close, how my sister was wrong but she was well-intended, etc. Then my sister read her letter and began crying and telling me basically another version of what the rest did. I said nothing to anybody, just sat there until my brother arrived. He was angry beyond anything I've ever seen before. He grabbed my stuff and told them all he was really disappointed and disgusted. We went outside and sat in his car until my dad and husband arrived. By then, I was just sobbing, and he kept saying sorry. I am unsure what happened in there, but I sent everybody except Mom an email with my lawyer's number and information attached and stated I don't wish to be contacted by any of them ever again, and if they do, I will go to the police. Nobody has contacted me, but I know from my dad that my mom and sister are hysterical. They told him they hoped to repair things for my sister to be able to be in my baby's life, maybe possibly being a godmother. My dad is staying with my brother at the moment. They support me, but some others in the family don't. I've even had mutual friends call me since they are worried about my sister's well-being and asking me what happened, since she is now going by the narrative that my husband is keeping me away from my family. I hate having my business in public, but I did go the public route and posted a long Facebook post about everything that happened. Sister-in-law, brother-in-law, and ex are being dragged, which, even if it wasn't 100% intended, I feel is deserved. Now my mom has been inconsolable, which does make me feel bad, but not as bad as she made me feel with her little intervention. I agreed to have a talk with her a couple of days ago and laid the ground rules for any possible future interaction, including therapy, family therapy, clear boundaries, no sharing information about me with my sister, and separate holidays. Most important, if she ever pulls anything like this again, she will for sure be cut off. She feels this is too much but is willing to do it. She thought it meant immediate access to baby news and it is all solved, but I told her it is a process and she needs to prove she has improved. My dad and brother refuse to talk to my sister, and they keep apologizing for not stopping it earlier. We've forgiven them since they were able to move and grow. My husband supports whatever I decide, but my mother-in-law is unsure cutting my mom's access to the granddaughter is the way to go, but says it is ultimately my decision. I am torn about what to do with my mom. First update. The state of my family so far. I had a conversation with my mother, but she insists she knew best. I am a bad person, and she will be getting grandparents' rights or even custody. I am nothing of what she says, but I still panicked, so we sent her a letter about it. My dad moved out definitely. He told her that he could not sign on to her terrorizing his kid. My brother and his wife also decided to go no contact. I know it seems very sudden, but I think I understood the level of despair I had after the intervention. My husband told them afterward they had to think very well about what they appreciated and to be kind and receptive to everything, but would not raise a kid in a toxic environment. Reason 3 million something as to why I love my husband. My husband is very heartbroken about my mom and her fakeness. He says she will never get anything from him. That is as much as revenge goes here. My husband and his sisters talked to my mother-in-law about her comment and made her understand why it was very out of it. As many of you assumed, she is a very loving mom from a loving family. My dad and brother keep apologizing for any role they played in this. My dad can't believe it went to this point. He says it is still surreal for him. Regardless, they support me no matter what and say they are willing to help me fight whatever ridiculous fight my mom or sister put up. Final update. I want to thank the lovely messages and encouraging words. Things are great and horrible at the same time, but I am trying to remain positive about everything. My brother and his wife sat my nephews down and explained that grandma was ill and tried to hurt auntie, Opie, and a little cousin. They explained grandma would not be part of their lives anymore, but that doesn't mean she doesn't love them. It was really hard, but the kids are smart. They were also told the other aunt is no longer in their life, but they don't care because they dislike her, not because of me alone, but simply because she is not exactly great with them either. My mom lost it when she was informed and started claiming she had rights and she will get to see her grandchildren. My dad is looking for a permanent place but will stay with us until January, mainly due to my brother's mother-in-law coming to visit and us having the space. He is really sad, has called divorce lawyers, already moved bank stuff, etc. He has been getting countless emails, messages, and calls from my mom, but he doesn't reply to anything. The lawyer told him not to block her right now. He considered maybe forgiving her, but I got a huge spike in my blood pressure a couple of days after my last post here because she decided to come to my place with my sister. My sister had never been to my home. My mom knew I didn't want her there, but I guess that doesn't matter anymore. The cleaning lady let them in since she knows my mom, and I haven't had the time to inform her she was not allowed to come in anymore. I was just coming home from some errands and I saw the car. This time, I didn't get in. I called all of my relatives, and my sister-in-law, husband's sister, was the one closer to me. She confronted them and told them either they leave or I call the police on them for trespassing. They left, and I started feeling bad. We went to the doctor and they told me all the excitement was not good and I need to stop relaxing or it would hurt the baby. My dad went home with my brother, uncle, and my husband and took every single thing they can think of. My husband says my sister was there too, and she kept screaming at him that he destroyed her family. My dad told my mom and sister they almost killed the baby and he doesn't want to talk to any of them again. My sister kept sending messages to my brother begging for help, but it's not happening. I am devastated and very sad for my nephew, since he is losing so much of his family because his mother has some wacky ideas, but it is what it is. As per the custody and grandparents' rights my mom wants to throw around so much, my lawyer sent her a letter stating she caused harm to my health and the baby, and if she keeps harassing me it will become an official legal matter. My brother also sent her a letter using her harassing of me. Both mom and sister have refused to go to therapy. They might be mentally ill, but with all of this coming to light, it is obvious they have been in agreement for a long time. I will focus on spending the holidays with my family, being healthy, and going to therapy. Well, it does kind of suck that the whole family thing imploded with your mom and your sister acting like crazy people, but like you say, it is what it is, and what is good for you now is to be away from them. So good for you and good for all your resolutions and your awesome husband. Thank you for sharing, OP, and take care. And it's that time that we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. I really did enjoy reading them to you, so if you did, then don't be shy and go ahead and give the video a like. And don't forget to subscribe or even share this video with people that you might think will enjoy my storytelling. Also, if you have the time, go down to the video description and check out all the links I have for you, from our Discord community to my channel merch. And finally, I'd like to say thank you for watching. It really means a lot to me that you enjoy my videos, and having said all that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Story 2. Sojourner Truth delivered a now famous speech at the Women's Rights Convention in 1851. A quote from the speech, "Ain't I a woman?" reads that man over there says that women need to be helped into carriages, and lifted over ditches, and to have the best place everywhere. Nobody ever helps me into carriages, or over mud puddles, or gives me any best place. And ain't I a woman? A black woman was in this sub yesterday, talking about her experiences and how she was tired of being called strong and powerful. And some of the comments on this sub were honestly quite shocking. I wanted to break down some of the narratives I was seeing, and really implore white women to do better going forward. Everyone's journey is different. I have South Asian heritage. In our culture, parents put a huge focus on education. I was lucky enough to have parents who pushed me to do a STEM degree at an Ivy League university. I had an amazing financially stable job at 22. But my mom never cared for me getting dressed up or wearing makeup. As a result, my 20s was me reclaiming my feminine side. If I'm obsessed with handbags and makeup, it's because I was denied it for so long. I understand that for a lot of people they might have the opposite experience. Maybe their parents told them that they could never do an engineering degree, because they're a girl. Maybe they were told to only focus on how they look, because they're a girl. Those people might be rejecting the things I'm embracing. And that's completely okay. Our ideas of feminism can look completely different and still be completely valid. Likewise, black women in America have a long history of being masculinized. The poster from yesterday was articulating that she was tired of essentially being stereotyped. That she was naturally a very soft and gentle woman and she just wishes people could see her as she was. I know some women would love to be called strong and powerful. But others, for good reason, don't. Our histories are different and understanding context is an important skill in life. It's not a big deal. I saw a lot comments essentially saying this. And really? Because I see a lot of posts in this sub about things that I personally consider trivial. Like a guy not moving out of the way on the sidewalk, for example. Let me tell you, all the comments are hyping up the OP. What do I do when I see those posts? I say nothing. Because sometimes people just want to be heard. And after a while, when I think about, I realize that it is in fact annoying that men don't want to move out of your way on a sidewalk. Women should unionize. I saw this too. That women of color should stop talking about their experiences of racism because it's not convenient to the cause of feminism. Firstly, we can fight both racism and sexism. We're women after all. Secondly, we're human and we shouldn't have to condense our experiences into two-dimensional stories. No one's experiences should be discounted. And on a side note, may I just remind people that majority of white women voted for Trump. Less than 30% of women of color voted for him. We're already unionized. White women, you should really be taking notes from us and unionizing yourselves. Thank you to the women who did speak up. I know that the title of the post is inflammatory, but that's because I wanted it to get some attention. But I did see many white women in the comments trying their best to educate their sisters. If you were one of them, thank you, I genuinely appreciate it. Story 3. I 21F and my boyfriend 23M just became Instagram official, although we have been seeing each other for about 8 months now. He's truly is my soulmate and have truly never been happier. We are in the process of moving in together. Now for the other guy. We were in the same friend group throughout school. I lived in a small town and went to a small school. I had a real set group of friends since elementary school. The other guy, let's call him David, fake name, joined our group in high school. He ended up getting a job at the same restaurant I worked at and we became even better friends. That was until about my second year into high school when I went to homecoming with one of our mutual friends, let's call him John. After John and I went to homecoming together, David started to completely cut John and I out. Convinced the group to stop hanging out with us at lunch or outside of school, and completely gave me the cold shoulder at work. That was until me and John decided we would be better off as friends. Then everything went back to normal. After that, prom came around and David asked if I would go with him. I politely declined. He kept insisting and I kept saying no, and that my best friend Tracy and I were going without dates because she recently got out of a relationship and wanted to go with just the girls. Later at prom, found out that he texted Tracy beforehand asking what color dress I was wearing and showed up in the same color tux. All night made comments about how we looked like a couple and this would have been funner as a date. After that I avoided him as much as possible. A couple months later he started dating this girl a town over. And I got into a couple-year-long toxic relationships that I won't get into but is important. David and I lost touch. Later me and my ex broke up and coincidentally David and his girlfriend broke up too. And he reached out. Me being a good friend listened to his sob story about breaking up with his ex and how toxic she was to him. Then started bringing up that he might be ready to date again and that he was looking for someone like me. I mentioned that I wasn't ready to date anytime soon and said I hope he finds someone else and whatever he was looking for. After that I graduated early and moved away for school. Stopped reaching out to the group. David texted me daily, I maybe replied monthly. He would ask to come see me, ask me to fly out and see him, I always declined. And finally ghosted him altogether, rude I know but what to do. Now to the present. After I posted pictures of me and my boyfriend, all my friends from high school started flooding my DMs asking me how I could be such a heartless bitch and how I could cheat on David. I told them that we never dated and I had been rejecting him since high school. He apparently told our friends that I was the reason him and his ex broke up cause we were too in love with each other and told our friends that we actually went to prom together. And told them that we were doing long distance. Apparently he even told his mom that he wanted to marry me and even asked her for her ring. Got an angry DM from her about it too. All this time I've made it very clear I don't like him. And now everyone says I lead him on. My boyfriend and his sister think that everyone is insane to think I lead him on and thinking I'm awful. I feel like I'm going crazy. Cause how am I leading on a man to the point he thinks we are dating even when we haven't talked in 5 months and telling our mutual friends he wants to marry me when I've been rejecting him for years?